literally still, well, I actually just took the plastic off, literally just took the plastic off. But the guy that I did the video on the ATEM, and the guy, he makes the 3D case. I was like, that 3D stand, I said, would work really good for this because of the monitors, and I could take it on the road for events. So when I did the video, he got a lot of feedback and a lot of purchases of this 3D stand. And he was like, where's all this coming from? And then he's noticed my video had got a lot of good traction on it. And so I said, hey, I got the YOLO box, because I saw he had did a video of another stand he created. He's like, well, don't do the video yet because I'm not prepared yet. So if there's a whole bunch of sales that come in from it. So that's part of the reason I haven't done this video yet. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's the XL. That's not programmed at all. Yeah, looks good. Cause I keep changing my setup. All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back. It is Monday. It is my favorite day of the week now because I get to show up and do what I love doing is live streaming and video content creation, all that good stuff. If you're here live on Amazon Live, let me know in the chat. If you're here on YouTube, let me know in the chat. I see who's that over there. Let me peek over there. Goodwin TV, new viewer. I see Roz over here. What's up, Chris over there? Guys, I got my Dealcaster shirt on tonight. So this is Monty Weaver. Let's make a deal show tonight. I'm stealing some of my guest thunder tonight. I got some amazing guests on here. This pandemic situation has allowed for a lot of people to meet and connect. And my guests tonight are people that I've met, and I don't think I would have probably met them in the busy, fast-paced world that we used to live in. Now that things kind of slowed down for a little bit, allowed people to kind of get into community spaces online. This is how I met my guest tonight. So I got a 2-for-1 special tonight. You guys are gonna really enjoy this. If you guys are watching, make sure that you check out everything in the video description below as well. I've had my guest information linked all up. We're going to talk about a good subject tonight. One of my favorite subjects, Amazon Live, how to brand yourself as an Amazon influencer. Before we get started tonight, if you guys are live streaming on Amazon or interested in like making some money off of Amazon, let me know in the chat. I was hosting a Clubhouse room earlier today, and I was telling people in the room, I think Amazon is like one of the easiest ways to generate like that passive income, and it's also one of the easiest ways to get these brand deals and sponsors, just because these companies are really looking at live shopping. The products are like on Amazon, and it's live video, so it's like the merger of a lot of different things coming together that you all should take advantage of, especially if you're looking to add additional revenue outside of what you're doing. And it could be all types of industries. I see Roz is here in the chat. Roz is in the caregiving space. Like, there's wheelchairs on Amazon, there's canes and walkers on Amazon, there's adult diapers on Amazon. So it doesn't really matter what your industry is, you can still make some money off of Amazon, you guys. So really love talking about this subject tonight. Let me make sure I share with y'all the schedule. Every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live. So make sure you guys mark your calendars. No show next week, but we will pick it back up the week after. So every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live and we have fun on here. And then I also have these two guys, I call them geeks too, because we're going to talk about some tech at the end, and they talk about tech on their Amazon shows as well. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome my good friends in here. I had to create a brand new scene for these guys. Usually I have one guest. I had to create a scene for two guests tonight. I got my guys Jim and Chris here tonight from Dealcasters. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
What's up, Monty? Thanks, man. You know what? We'll send you a check for having to make that extra scene. What did you use to make the scene, man? What software?
This is Wirecast, but the scene graphics are from a live streaming company that a lot of people have heard of probably is Live Streaming Pros. So I
Oh
actually
yeah,
took their graphics and just changed it to my
Luria.
color.
Yeah,
Yeah, Loria's group. And definitely just rebranded the graphics a little bit. Hint, hint, what
love
we're
it.
doing tonight, right? Rebranded
Love
the
it.
graphics for my show. And yeah, so it was not difficult to make it. I will say that because did have it on standby. Um, how y'all doing tonight, man? You guys are showing up on video all over the place today.
Man, today was it was like a full meal. You know, this is my fourth show of the day, and I'm finally here for dessert with Monty Weaver. So I'm ready, man. All just like a slice of tiramisu and a coffee, and we're good.
Yeah, yeah. How about you, Jim?
It's just my second show, so I didn't have the challenge that Chris did, but I was excited. But it's like this is nice because we're guests. Earlier, we had, as we know, great guy Bradley Vincent on our show talking about graphics, and he's what a another guy that's part of the community that we've met through Amazon. So it was a lot of fun with Bradley earlier. And then
Yeah,
tomorrow we're actually going to go live 2 days in a row, which is I guess at this point, right? Would you say that's unusual for us to go 2 days in a row? But we're going to have Troy Sandage. We're like you, Monty. We're trying to get back into the live streaming.
yeah,
We've been doing a lot of those shoppable videos. I'm sure
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
touch on that later. But
yeah,
um,
yeah,
Amazon had I don't know if I want to say they scared us, but we know that we didn't want to get strikes. So we had to say, okay, when we have these shows, we got to think through it.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I'm testing too. I'm testing too, to see what we can do because I don't want to burn any bridges, but I do know kind of what I want to do overall with content creation, and I do realize they're not the only one out there, and there's some other ones that are out there too. I'm gonna have to send y'all a message. Remind me after the show. There's a company that I think you guys may really be interested in. They're tech focused, and they're looking at bringing a tech influencer program, and I guarantee you shopped there before. So just remind me towards the end.
Oh,
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 you
that was
got
a
me
nice
you got me
tease.
excited. You
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about dessert, right?
yeah. I got you. Before we get started here, let me get you guys to introduce yourselves. Jim, I'm gonna let you go first. Let the people know who you are, what you do, and we will kick this bad boy off here.
Awesome. Well, I'm Jim Fuse. I'm a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel. I do marketing the Marine Corps way, digital marketing consultant, live streamer, podcaster, co-host of a show on Amazon, Dealcasters Live, with my good friend Chris Stone, and also do a lot of remote live stream production. And been on Amazon since July of 2020. So I really like helping people. I think that's what I love about that, and I think that's even with the Amazon show. That is the focus: is how can we help people get past fearing the gear, as Chris likes to say.
Yeah, I started in July 2020 as well on Amazon, so kind of looked around, played with it, and I didn't take it seriously until the fall of that year when
Hmm.
my friends Melody and Chris, I kind of told them about it, and then all of a sudden they started running off with it. I had to hurry up and catch them. So, yeah, good time and good time. Chris, what about you, man? What do you do?
Y-
I know
Yeah.
what you do, but tell the audience what you do.
Yeah, my name is Chris Stone. I'm a cast ahead at castahead.net, and I work with driven entrepreneurs to work on their show because most of the time people they don't care how a show is made. They just want a show. And so that's what I do. I work with them to come out of their trailers, step to the microphone, to the camera, do their show, and I handle the rest.
Awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. And by the way, I co host with this guy, Jim Fuse, who is on Dealcasters. And we have a lot of fun. And Monty, if we didn't have any fun, we would stop doing it.
yeah, yeah. That's what I think about when it comes to video too. I have to show up and just be me, so it has to be fun. No matter where I show up on social, if I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it. And it was funny when Jim, you said you're going to do more, getting back in the swing of more videos. I was doing live streams for a while, but I kind of stopped doing it because I wasn't having as much fun doing it because I just felt like I was showing up. But now it's become fun again because I get to like talk to friends through social media now, and we just get to share our expertise to whoever shows up and watches. So glad to have you guys here tonight. We are talking about building your brand on Amazon, and for those that do not um, know what Amazon Live is, Jim, I'll let you explain like to the audience like what is Amazon, and then like what is Amazon Live, because there's two different parts of it, but I think both of them are super effective if someone wants to tap into it.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the first part is and I know there's been debates, but starting out as an Amazon associate where you can sign up, you really don't even need to have, I would say, a website. Like you could, if you've got a TikTok, an Instagram, somewhere where you can share links. That's what Amazon is looking for. And so if people click on your link, you get a commission of anywhere from 1 to 4%. But then if you've got enough followers and take it to another level, as what we call an Amazon, influencer. I know some people don't like that. They're starting to talk about key opinion leaders, but you get a storefront on Amazon. I know Monty got your shop page. We have our shop page at dealcasters.shop. And so you can put photos of products. You can have idea lists. You can have your past live streams are all there. And to me, that's where it becomes like Amazon Associates on steroids. But the fact that you're going live, as like Chris liked to say, in the mall, right? People are there to shop. They've got their card is already probably built in because they got one click going on. And so they see the stuff like you've got here in the carousel, they click on it, and then you are looked at as the reason that these people are making that decision to purchase, and you get an affiliate commission. Nobody's paying anything more, but we're getting to have a lot of fun by helping people understand more about the things that they want to buy.
I was literally walking downstairs and I looked at all the stuff that is just in the house, and I'm just like doing some more videos. I think I did like 5 videos. And then with new baby girl, she is like helping daddy pay these bills. Like, I have never sold so many strollers, and the commission on strollers, you guys, is pretty nice. So just throwing it out there in case you guys just need a stroller for whatever reason to do a product video. But I would
Yeah.
never have thought about like getting affiliate links for stuff that's not like an everyday business use case, but anything has an affiliate link on Amazon. I think that's pretty cool. Chris, you want to kind of add to that or bring any other value to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think first, if I'm going to do some stroll videos, I need a baby. And I think I might be, that ship may have sailed for me. But yeah, I mean, listen, we talk about Amazon and sort of the financial aspect of it. But, Jim and I never started Amazon and doing Amazon and started Dealcasters, which, by the way, was born on Amazon. We did not, Dealcasters was not something that was something else that we bolted Amazon onto. The first time Dealcasters was on Amazon, and then everything else came after the fact. And we did not expect to be where we're at with this. But, the mindset when we started it was, hey, this is an opportunity for us to do what we do in our businesses as remote producers, as consultants for podcasters, for live streamers, and helping people level. Because inevitably, and Monty, this, people always are like, what's the best camera? What's the best microphone? What headphones do I need for this, that, or the other? And we're, well, let me go to my associate's account and give them my affiliate link, and then hope and pray you get 13 cents from the loop deck that they purchased in the carousel. And so, for us, it was like, well, let's do a show together. And when Jim called me and said, hey, by the way, we're Amazon influencers, I was like, what is that? And this was an opportunity to do a show together. And so this was our way to say, okay, prospective clients, people that want to see us, this is our sandbox to play in. We can now do a show what we do as remote producers, video, podcast editors, all of that stuff, and be able to go into the biggest mall in the world and say, oh, and on your way out the door, if you want to buy a stroller, in addition to your Scarlett Focusrite interface, we're okay with that, because that's fine. So that was it. That was like, and so when it first started, we were just like, okay, cool. We're just going to do a show because this is just a way for us to do a show. And then fast forward now, a year and a half, 2 years later, and this is a real thing. This is a thing that can make you money. And so that's why we're leaning into it as hard as we are. That's why we're trying to understand this thing. That's why we're trying to develop, because now we can take that knowledge and bring it to other influencers and say, hey, by the way, here's steps 1 through 8 that we missed when we started. Now we can bring them to you so you don't have to go through those mistakes.
Yeah. One of the things I really like being on Amazon's platform, like you said, it's Amazon, and everybody is already there. And it's just like free traffic to us, because eventually they're going to find us. I don't think there is a lot of people that stream on Amazon still. I think a lot of people are interested in our community that we have. I don't think a lot of people are actually showing up and doing the streaming and being that person where a company sees like, oh, I need somebody to talk about a microphone. There's not but a handful of people that could really talk about that on a regular basis. And the title of the show tonight is Branding Yourself. How have you guys seen, or let me ask you guys this. What is branding? What does it even mean to brand yourself, I guess?
Jim, do you want that one?
I was going to let you have that, Chris, because you're always
okay.
always be branding, right? That's
Always
Chris's
be
motto.
branding. Well, so Monty, a lot of people think that your brand is your logo, your hex codes, your what people see. And for us, it's this, right? And we always do that, and that's a part of it, and that's important. It absolutely is, because there's like association that happens with people visually. But for us, our brand, especially as it relates to your world, Monty, and I know this is not anything that's new to your community, and that is, you know, there are tons of there. We speak to brands every day, and we speak to people that want to give us products for nothing and will pay us to talk about those products. But our brand is about being able to talk about something that we truly love and have those people trust us. And if we say, hey, we're walking up this hill, they're going to follow us. And so when someone sends us or proposes to send us a microphone that we've never heard of, um, listen, I'll try your microphone, and I'll test it out, but I'm not going to promise you anything at all. But here are the microphones that I like. Here's what when people come to us and they say, here's my budget and here's where I want to be, we want to get them there, because we want to get them past all of the mind junk that happens when you get stuck on gear and you can't start your show.
Hmm.
And that happens, man. That happens. There's people that have great stories to tell. There's people that have great missions. There's people that have, and they get stuck on microphones and cameras and stuff. And we want to help them. And so if that means they pay $19 or they pay $1,900, I don't care. I want to get them past all that and get them the right gear for that. And that is our brand.
Hmm.
If you come to us and you say, what do I do here, here, and here? I want to answer those questions. And if I don't know the answers to those questions, I'll say, I know a guy named Monty Weaver that can answer that question. I know another person named Bradley Vinson who can answer that question, or whomever. So we want to be sort of a trusted, reliable source for that information so they can get past the fear that they have when it comes to technology.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. And when I go into doing these live streams, especially the live streams, when I show up, I'm thinking, okay, who is the audience that I'm talking to? And also, who are these companies that align with my brand that I want to be in front of? Because even though I do little short videos on the strollers, that's not, you're not going to see me show up on live and like that's just like a regular part of my live, unless it's one of those days I was literally like, let me just do this. I'm literally just unboxing, and it was more so just to thank people in real time. But you're not gonna see me show up like as, oh, Monty's now the baby expert. No, no, I am
Right,
still
right,
learning this. Trust me, I am still learning
right.
this. My brand is to show up and show y'all some technology gear, because like, if you start to mix and your branding up, you'll have all kinds of people coming to you, then your audience doesn't know what to show up for, and it's just confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim. Well, like when I see you guys show up online, like you guys, like Chris said, it's not QVC, and I know we've talked about this a lot. Why not go the route of QVC for your brand? Because different people's brands is going to be different. But for Dealcasters, why not do QVC? Why do it different?
It's not in my DNA or Chris's DNA to be those sort of people. So we want to be ourselves. We thought from the get-go, I mean, our first show was just Chris and I talking about some different stuff, but then it's like we want to interview people. We want to make other people kind of the star of the show. We want them to share their experiences with the audience. And oh, by the way, these are maybe some of the tools that they use that have helped them succeed. Whether it's a book author, like tomorrow we're going to be talking to Troy Sandage, who just wrote a great book called, Strategize Up. And so to us, it's more about that than, oh, well, how many people can we get to click on this product? Because it's just not us. So we've never wanted to get into that. And so I think, to our earlier point, we think, we don't know because we haven't had that conversation with anyone at Amazon. We like to think that we're providing a quality show to the Amazon audience,
Hmm.
and that to us is more important than, you know, views and clicks, because I think you probably can see this as well, Monty, that there's actually a lot to be said for the videos that you're doing about products as opposed to the live streams, because The live streams is kind of hit or miss. You don't know what time people are going to be on. You may get a big audience one day, another day there's nobody there. But those product videos, kind of like on YouTube, are there all the time. And we've definitely seen that make a big difference for us. And when it comes to that, we're explaining the product,
Yeah.
right? It from our opinion, not what somebody tells us to say.
Yeah, one of the things that I like about the way you guys do your show and even kind of the format of how I'm doing this is it's not product heavy. We do talk about products, we talk about use cases, what would be better for someone. But I think when working with brands, I've found it beneficial as well because I'm able to better position myself and say I explain the products. I can educate your customer on the products and also do things outside of Amazon because if I only showed up and was like, okay, this is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it does this, this, and this, and I'm trying to sell this to an Android user, like that might not fly too well versus me kind of showing, hey, well, Apple does have these applications that might make it easier for you to work on your Mac that you do have on your desk. And so if you get the phone along with it, now you can kind of work together. And so now that Android user may consider moving over to that other device. And I think it's more than just an Amazon thing for, the way we like to position ourselves as a brand here on Amazon. But and I know you guys have said it before, like however you guys want to do it is your thing. But like when you're doing your brand, like it's something that's really thinking about. And if you guys have not checked out Jim and Chris's show, Deercasters.live, definitely go to it, watch the show, like watch it in its entirety, and just kind of see how they go about doing what they do on Amazon. Those of you all here in the chat, I see Carmelita over here. She liked that key opinion leaders. I like that too. So I had my notebook close to me, but it wasn't close enough for me to take the note on that. So I might have to save it from her over there. Cyrus is
I
good
like.
here.
Let's add major key opinion leader to it. Can we add that?
Yeah,
Let's add major key opinion leader.
I
Right
really
here,
like that.
right now.
Yeah. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put those in the chat as well. Your brand on Amazon Live. So you guys have been on for about the same amount of times as I have. What keeps you on Amazon? I know the commissions can be good, brand deals can be good, but like, do you guys envision Amazon doing more? Do you see like shoppable content showing up more? Like, what's keeping you guys on Amazon? Because I think we've seen a wave of people show up. Some people have kind of gone off Amazon. I don't see them as often, but what keeps you guys on the platform?
Well, Jim and I are always people that want to experiment with new things. And when we started with Amazon, that was it. That was like, this is our opportunity to do this. And I'm not saying we would have quit in the first 3 months or whatever, but it quickly got it. And it was the shiny thing in the room and so we started in and we started to see that success early. Success for us is not necessarily financial, nor is it views or things like that. But all of a sudden, we were getting attention, and people were bringing us to speak at certain events. We've spoken at StreamYard. We have this event that I'd love to talk about in May in Orlando, where we have an entire day on it, FidFest and PodFest, where it's nothing but Amazon. And we're pulling down influencers like yourself, Monty, who will be speaking at that event. And so this quickly became a thing where, like, this is not just something that is going to go away. First and foremost, Amazon, obviously monstrous, and they're not necessarily putting the house behind this. And we'd love it to be better, of course, in terms of content creators. And so that's kind of why we evangelize for it. And that's kind of why we've stuck to it, is because we are constantly getting questions, Monty, all the time. Well, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Why are you doing this? What is this? What is this? There's all kinds of questions. And so we ended up getting on a bunch of shows answering those questions. And so I don't want to use the word, expert, because we don't work for Amazon, so we can't necessarily be an expert. But we know enough to be dangerous, and we've done it, and we spend a lot of time on it. And so we like to share that information with people. And so that's why we stick with it, is because it's just something we feel like helps the most people. I mean, imagine the way YouTube was, 2 years into its infancy.
Yep.
It probably still, people, I remember people were like, why am I going to watch this video of like this fish tank for 4 hours? Like, why is this why does this have so many views? It's just a joke. Now, fast forward, and there's 40 million YouTube channels, and the pool has become an ocean. And here's Amazon, which is a puddle. And you have an opportunity as a content creator to jump in and monetize yourself in 90 minutes. 90 minutes is all it takes to monetize. And when I say 90 minutes, I mean literally streaming for 90 minutes. And you begin to monetize yourself as an insider. And for me, that was like, it's a total no-brainer. Are we ignoring YouTube? No, absolutely not. YouTube is viable. YouTube more than viable, and should be. But when it comes to Amazon, it's like you can jump in a puddle before it becomes an ocean and start making money right away.
One of the things what you said just reminded me of like why I created the group. Like I couldn't find answers to questions. I literally was like, what is this Amazon Live thing? I go to Google, there's nothing. Go to YouTube, there's nothing. Go on Amazon site, there's nothing. Where are the answers to these questions? So I started a group, had YouTube jump in the group along with some other amazing people, and we just kind of figured this thing out like along the way. And what I'm happy about, because we're definitely going to talk about the event, is the fact that there were people like you guys that were also like spreading the message about Amazon. Because I felt like when I first started telling my community of people, I'm like, why aren't y'all listening to me? Like it's Amazon and it's live streaming. I don't know everything, but it just seems like it just makes sense. And so when we were seeing like other people in the community do live shows and talk about it, it was like bringing more awareness to the platform, and it was like starting to help all of us out. And I have never seen a social platform where we have so many other people go into other people's streams and like shout them out and
Right.
stop their shows for everybody just to bring awareness to the I've never seen that before. And I was telling a group of people, more so like the people that are struggling to grow a social presence, like to be like, who are you on social media? I would tell them to get on Amazon, do whatever you can to get on Amazon, because it's one of the easiest platforms to grow an audience. And you can say, I'm on Amazon. Like, how many people, still to this day,
Great
how many
point.
people can actually say, I live stream on Amazon? And if you do say it, you're definitely going to get someone's attention. Um, Jim, I know you guys interview a lot of authors, and I think for them, like what is it like when you go to an author and say, hey, would you guys like to be on Amazon?
I think the first thing there's like, what? You mean, you're like, yeah, live on Amazon. And I think even from that perspective, I think that if Chris and I were just having our show, like we've done other shows where we were on Facebook and YouTube, it's like, well, how many followers do you have? Blah, blah. But because it's Amazon, and we say, look, we've gotten thousands of people sometimes will watch a 1 hour episode, right? They're like interested instantly. I mean, I mean, it's not necessarily spoiling a surprise, but Kelly Roach, who's a big time business coach, is actually my business coach. Just released a book called Conviction Marketing. We already booked her for April 27th to come on the show, talk about her book, talk about her program. That wouldn't happen if we were on another platform. I mean, maybe if we were a big YouTuber, but I think that's one piece of it. And then it's just the whole logistics. If you're an author, I mean, and Dave Jackson, Hall of Fame podcaster, was on our show on his book release day. And so the book's in the carousel. Any other product that he has is in the carousel. So he's got a really good chance to make some sales talking live that just doesn't happen anywhere else. Or I mean, it can, but it takes a lot of work. And so I think that's a huge advantage as an influencer, is being able to bring people onto the platform where people are ready to buy maybe had no idea because, as you know, Monty, when you go live and get to Insider, your video showing up on other product pages, and
How cool
sometimes
is that?
people will like, oh, what's this? Click, and then boom, they're in the show.
Like when these authors, and I think of small business owners that have like one or two products on Amazon, for them it's like, okay, I want to get my book on Amazon because it's a great place to be. But we know that if someone is not searching for your book or your product, you're not getting that good traffic like you are going to be on the front page. We know that's not going to happen for them. And I think having them come onto our Amazon live shows gives them this exposure that they would never get. They don't have to worry about SEO rankings and paying for ads to get to the top. It's that is the SEO, is if you show up on the live stream on one of the influencer pages, and all of a sudden that influencer has an audience, and now they're getting sales, and like, hey, I didn't sell anything for 3 months. I sold something when I came to your show. Yes, it's Amazon and it's live streaming and it's real time. So
Yeah.
I love what you just said.
Yeah, people don't realize, Monty, that like, and just kind of dovetailing off the author talk and what Jim said, it's like if you're an author that has a book, this is just one example of anybody that has any product, and you're driving down the street that's next to the mall, and you hear a radio advertisement promoting a book by an author. I realize this is probably like a weird hypothetical thing, but you hear it and you go, oh look, I just heard Monty Weaver has a new book. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to pick that up. But you're driving,
Right.
right? You're not there. But like if you were to eventually pull into the mall, into the mall, go into the bookstore, and then someone says, "Here is a book from Monty Weaver," and here is Monty Weaver talking about his book.
Mm-hmm.
That's the experience on Amazon Live. These people are ready to buy. They are on the product page ready to buy, and oh, here's a person talking about the book. Here's a person talking about the microphone that I was going to buy. Here's a person. It's like the ultimate virtual shopping experience for you. And as a content creator and as an expert in whatever space you're with, Geraldine Wilkins, who's going to be speaking at VidFest, who does quilting, a fantastic show. It's very niche. I totally get it, right? But like she's the expert. And so if you're looking for items for that, and where are you going to search for those items? You're looking on Amazon, chances are, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're someone that's a niche content creator, you can do that in the mall where someone can buy that, and you can actually teach and consult people. That's why we did it, is because we'll get to the end of our show, Monty, and people will be like, I'm starting my podcast tomorrow. And
I
like, that's awesome. That's for us, is that's it. It doesn't even matter if they even bought anything. Like that's what it's about.
I was checking my Facebook messages, and I got a message from a guy I used to work with a couple years ago, and he said, "You sold out to Amazon?" And I didn't know what he meant at when he sent it, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, he must have seen one of my product videos or my live stream on Amazon." So it just goes to show how effective it is and how much room there is for us, because a guy that I used to work with saw my video. And then I've actually had one guy, he screenshotted me because he actually follows me on YouTube. He sent me a screenshot because he was on Amazon and saw me on the homepage of Amazon. He was like, "I see you on the homepage," and he sent me the screenshot, and it was just like, you on other where does this happen on other platforms, like where your buddy just like runs into you as he's shopping, and like he pays you a commission, doesn't even realize, like, "Hey, thanks, what'd you buy?" Like, "But just want to see what you bought over there so I can go and check and see how much you helped me with." But have you guys had any experiences similar, or where people have like seen you on Amazon or just like been awestruck some kind of way?
Yeah, with it just a few nights ago, we were doing a show. We were just doing a product oriented show, and I had actually done. I do remote production for podcasts and live streams, and one of the guests was on that show and doing whatever. And then Jim and I are sort of doing our whatever, and we look over in the chat, and I see that person's name as following, and I'm like, okay, that is a very original name. That could only be that person that decided to follow. And so then he just let us know, like, oh man, I was just shopping for something on Amazon, and then I saw you because I saw you earlier in the day because I met you backstage remote producing an event, and it was like, then it has led to business for my company.
Yep.
And so that's really what it's about, is like, our intention is to help people, but it also is a massive, massive, massive sandbox to play in, because a lot of people don't realize when you go live, you get sometimes tens of thousands of people that will watch you over the course of an hour. Obviously there's a lot of algorithms and luck that's involved, and, blessings sprinkled down from the Amazon interwebs, that gets you on particular product pages. And, sometimes you're going to get on and you're not going to see a ton of views, but I can tell you this, the view counts versus what we would see on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and some of these places, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah. It was unlike any other platform. It's just like, I don't need to have like 50 million followers. I remember a brand reaching out to me, and I think I had like less than 50 followers. And I was like, you want to work together on something? And to this day, I still have like a whole bunch of their microphones that I still have back here. And I was actually on a Clubhouse call today, and one lady she was like, I love this microphone. I was like, that is great. I don't know when she bought it, but she heard me talk about it on Amazon, and so everybody's happy. I'm happy, the company's happy, customers happy. So it's been an amazing ride. Jim, I'm looking over your shoulder. I see VidFest, Amazon Influence. Now, I have been waiting, and even at one point wanted to create some type of physical event to like get people together to talk about Amazon Live, because I still don't think, as much as we all run our chops, it's still not popular yet. But I think you guys might change that coming up soon. What do we got going on?
Well, Chris and I have been blessed that we got to know Chris Krimitsos. We spoke at a couple of his Podfest virtual events, and it was specifically about Amazon. In fact, he was our fourth interview on Dealcasters. And, I mean, his words, not mine, and Chris can vouch for me, he was blown away by what we were doing with the show. And he's like, hey, you guys, I mean, this was like the first time, at least for me, I can't speak for Chris, where he's like, I've got this event coming up in November. You guys have got to speak at it, right? Like normally people like, put in your speaker application and we'll see. But he was like, it was like, you guys contact my people and you're going to be speaking. And so we've continued to be a part of that community. And even last year, of course, we had a variant that kind of slowed things down. He's like, I'd really like you guys to do what we call a MicroCon. It's one of the things that he does between VidFest and Podfest about Amazon. Well, that time has finally come here in May, and he, let us work with them to come up with the idea, the different topics that we're going to cover. And so we're excited that yourself and several other of some of the top folks in the community are going to get to be a part of this in person. And I know Chris and I are just like blown away that we've been blessed with this opportunity to bring the community together in person in a great place, right? Orlando, like Disney World.
Yeah, like it's been fun kind of meeting people in the community, in the group, and following everybody in their Amazon lives, but like to connect in real time. I like get to shake hands with everybody and just like have some real conversations. I think that you guys and how you guys have been able to work and pull that off for a full day has been like incredible. And I'm excited to come down there and see you guys and speak a little bit and just connect with people, because it's Amazon and it's live streaming, and I think there's a big opportunity there. Yeah. Chris, you ain't gotta give me no surprises, but like, why should people show up. Don't tell me any secrets of why they should show up. But like, why should they show up and come to this? Because when I first saw Podfest, podcasters. When I saw VidFest, okay, a whole bunch of video people. But like, oh, it's like a whole bunch of us coming together to really get some value.
Well, first and foremost, Monty Weaver is speaking. So I don't think you need another reason, but for sure, I mean, it's you know, what we're doing on Friday, May 27th is predominantly for Amazon, but it's not just for someone that is an Amazon influencer that wants to, do life community with this, this huge community that Monty and Crispy Giles and Melody Johnson have built on that Facebook group. But other influencers are joining as well. Jim, I don't know if we can announce the speaker that just came in this past week. Okay, well, Kate Bradley Chernus from Lately is also going to be joining us. So from a repurposing standpoint, we're going to be able to talk about how you as an influencer can use products like Lately. We're going to have Gracie Ryback, who's also known as Deal Cheats, going to be talking about how she's completely changed the TikTok game and using her Amazon influence there. We're going to be talking about how you can repurpose what you're doing into a podcast. Monty, obviously there. Kirk Nugent will be there as well. Justin Moore, a creator wizard, will be there as well to talk about your brand deals. And it's not just about Amazon, right? So if you're someone who, Amazon's not for me, but YouTube is, you can still attend all of those things. It's a 4-day event. So Monty, to answer your question, Podfest and VidFest, the lines are blurring right now, right? So when someone says podcast, they may think audio specific podcast for Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, etc. And that certainly can be what you do as a part of your video or a repurposing of your video. But there is so much that goes on at Podfest and VidFest throughout the 4 days. There's going to be meetups. There's going to be all kinds of events that are happening. I know, Monty, you guys are talking about doing a specific meetup for the group that you have, which I'm super excited to be able to do and to be able to I mean, the most Jim and I are excited about doing what we get to do in this whole event, and we're sort of head down and doing this. But I can't keep but thinking like I get to meet all these people.
Right.
That Bradley Vincent talked about it earlier today when we were on the show with him. He's like, I've gotten to meet all these people that have never seen me from the chest down, and now I get to meet them and share share some space or whatever with people, and so it's exciting for us to be able to bring everyone together, but also continue to do what we want to do in teaching people how to do this, showing people how they can be impactful on this platform, and really give others like yourself, Monty, a voice to be able to speak into people and have them grow as content creators.
Yeah, one of the things that you rejogged my memory, and you spoke about it a little bit earlier, the benefits of being on Amazon and why you stay there, the opportunities. And when I think about like how many times people have asked me to speak, I'm like, man, that's a new audience. And then I get to share my brand with this other audience of people. And like for this opportunity to speak on a stage in front of a whole lot of people, that would have never happened if I never showed up and did some live streams on Amazon, did a couple product videos, worked with a couple sponsors, and it's these other opportunities that this platform is bringing. And I think that let me be nice. People should not be so narrow-minded when they're working on something. They should, what else can I do? Like, how else can I leverage this into something else versus, well, how come my video didn't upload today? Like, what's going on with my report is wrong today. Like, there's something bigger here than that. And I'm being nice. Monty, be nice.
Being very nice, Monty.
No, it's tough love.
But you're
Tough
right,
love.
Monty. I mean, part of it is, think about it, because you hear people talking about, live selling is growing. You got them talking about it. People sell on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. But here's what I say about Amazon, where we have an advantage by being on the platform. And I use it's a L word. It's called logistics. We as When we talk about these products, you're ordering it from Amazon, right? It gets delivered by Amazon. If you need to return it, you can return it to Amazon, or you can go to Kohl's or Whole Foods. We don't ever have to touch it. But if I'm selling something on Facebook or these other things, I'm the logistics, and I don't want to be packing stuff up and mailing it to somebody and having to deal with that. That is, and I think sometimes even with YouTube, and you're coming from where you've got a huge YouTube presence. Sometimes people are coming there to kind of do their research.
Hmm.
Then they're going to Amazon, and guess what might happen? When they go over to Amazon, they just happen to see that video from, Chris P. Giles, or Jim and
Jim
Chris
and
or
Chris.
Ronnie, and then they click on it. Guess what? All that work you did on YouTube was for nothing.
Yep, yep. I think about some of the comments I get and how I always tell people, if they ask a question, I'm like, how do you use the platform? And I'll think about how do I use the platform? And so if I go and I look at a particular product and I'm like, oh, I will literally sometimes go and type it into Amazon. And so even though that person referred, they say go down in the link in the description. I tell it in my videos, go to the link in the description. There's a reason we say that. You people that watch us on YouTube, like, please go to the link in my description so I can get the commission. But there are times I definitely just go and type that thing right on in over to Amazon, and then I get trapped in an Amazon loophole. I'm like, oh, there's another option. And
Yep.
that person that gave me all that information, their reward was just getting a view versus the
Right.
person that did the 1 to 3 minute
Yeah.
video, and I clicked on their video right there on the platform, and now they're cookie me all over Amazon, and they're getting the credit for it. So,
It's the number one search engine for products for a reason, because they do a great job of suggesting products for you. I
yeah,
mean, listen, there's a lot of people are going to say, things, vice versa about Amazon. And listen, if I'm being honest, I don't have 100% glorious things to say about them either, but it is what it is. And so, but one thing that they do phenomenally well that no one can argue with is suggest products for you. That algorithm is ridiculously fantastic. And
yeah.
you can't argue with that, because how many times have you been on Amazon and you bought something that you never knew you were going to buy? You just do. And
Hmm.
it just works. It just works really well. And so why not be there when someone's making that decision is,
And
for me, the easiest straight line as a content creator.
yeah, they put those little package together or bought together with
That's
down
right.
there when you
Yeah.
scroll, and next
You
thing you
need
know,
this
oh, I need
cable.
this
You
too.
need this. You need that. Monty,
Um,
what do you think too? Because you're seeing like these other, we'll call them, I guess I don't know whether to call them big box or, you know, Target, Walmart. They're all starting to look at this. And so that's the other thing I say. If you start out on Amazon, you're getting those reps, and I think you're more likely to have a chance to move over to those other ones as well.
yeah, yeah. There is one, the secret one I will be sending you guys because I like to get on platforms before other people do, and we won't make it public knowledge as of yet. We'll just, if
You
you
are
guys choose
such
to
a
make it
tease.
public knowledge, you're more than welcome to. But I
Nah,
think
we'll
for,
keep it between us girls.
but I do pay attention to what these other platforms are looking to introduce. There are some popular ones. I think Nordstrom for shopping. I've actually seen a lot, some influencers over there. So I've really been paying attention to it. I've actually created a separate community just for like brand deals and sponsorships opportunities. So along with working with some of the Amazon sellers, which are okay, but they're not like the best ideal collab sometimes. The actual companies that have the budgets in these stores are really what I'm looking at, and the actual stores themselves. I think it's going to be a huge thing, and we can definitely go from okay, we don't want to be on this platform anymore. We can go to this platform. I've even seen some of these apps showing up now that are paying people, creators, to show up on their app platforms just to do the same exact thing that we're doing. So at this point, no one has the traffic like Amazon does, but there are definitely other platforms that are introducing it. And I think there's going to be so many places for us to go if we choose to, and it goes back to that brand piece of it. What is your brand? Because your brand can follow you. And what you got, the announcements you guys just made, I don't think how people understand how big that lately software can help you repurpose content. So if I can repurpose across these other platforms and show up like live, hey, there is a lot of opportunity. Yeah, I got something for y'all after we get off. Oh,
Oh, yeah. No, but you're right. I think when you talk about, we talk about, that obviously Amazon is like, one of the biggest, in the world, and certainly here in the U.S. But like, you said Nordstrom. We talk about what Target. We talk about some of these other. These are companies that have supply chains, and they can ship you products end to end, like warehouse to consumer, right? So why are they, they're working on this, they are desperate for, no, I don't want to use the word desperate, they really want quality consumers, and maybe they go the route of Amazon initially and they bring in their own people to kind of talk about. But how long did it take before Monty, I think it was a little over a year where Amazon was like bringing in like their own influencers on Prime Day and some of these other sale days before they were like, you know what, we got to open up this thing and start bringing in some real sort of people we didn't hire, influencers that can talk about it, because people are buying products from people they can identify with. And that's the other thing too, Monty, is like, you don't have to be Kim Kardashian. You don't have to be, LeBron James. You can be Chris Stone and Jim Hughes, and people will buy products from you.
yep.
And, like that's, people can say, hey, this person is answering a question that I had about a product, how it looked, what the size was, how it works for them, shows me a demonstration. I'm going to buy it. And if you get 2%, if you get 4%, whatever it is that you get, you're owed that because you help that person in the buying process.
Yep.
And big companies and smaller companies need to realize that it's not about paying hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars for these massive influencers. It's the nanos, it's these influencers, it's the people that can understand how to do it effectively on these platforms. They're the ones that are going to win.
Yeah, I think about stuff that I use this all the time. I actually did a video for like some water earlier today. It's a little short video. It's 1 minute and 5 seconds. And I'm not going to tell anybody on here. I'll tell y'all after we get off.
Man, you got secrets tonight.
I was shocked there were no videos on this particular brand of water because it's a very popular brand of water. So I'm like, there's probably already a bunch of videos of it. There were no videos there. And so I'm just going to see how well it performs because it aligns with my brand. Because anybody that watches me all the time, they know I'm always holding up like vitamin water is like just sitting on my desk all the time, like legit part of my brand. And so I'm like, there is like no videos out here on this. So anything on Amazon, you don't have to be the full expert on it, but if you know enough that it's more than the customer buying it, and you're authentic and like you like really love your products or support your products, like it's a win-win. I was asking my wife the other day because she was watching one of the videos on Amazon. And I said, hold on. I said, because I was trying to get into the mind of the customer. I said, how many videos do you typically watch before you're like wanting to buy something? And she said she'll watch like 2 videos. I was like, show me what that looks like on mobile because I'm always on my desktop when I'm looking. I'm like, well, let me see what you're seeing so I can understand the customer side of this when I create the video. And it was just, I learned more just from her, just asking her the question. I'm like, okay, this is what I need to think about when I create the video. I said, how long do you watch the videos? She said, for hair products, you'll watch the long videos. For like we just bought some little kitchen fry thing. She just watched a short video. So just getting that understanding of just marketing, when it comes to Amazon as well. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, X amount of time or length or custom thumbnails. Those things, they matter when they matter, but like you got to get it up there. Like, and I think
Yeah.
like what you said early on, Chris, is you guys are helping people not get stuck. You got to get it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monty, you hit on like that. You're singing mine and Chris's tune, right? How can I help the customer, right? Sometimes you get these people like, oh, I want to get stuff out there because I want people to click on it. No, that's the wrong answer. How can I help the customer make an informed buying decision? Because then they're going to look for your videos in the future and say,
Hmm.
hey, this person is legit. They've helped me, because I could still like they may not, we may get nothing from it. Sometimes they may go buy something else, but it is fascinating too, the whole desktop versus mobile, because haven't looked recently, but it seems like there's a lot more desktop shoppers than you realize. But you're right, you have to think about the mobile. And to your point, Monty, I don't know how many products are on Amazon, but sometimes I kind of chuckle because it seems like, because there's not what we think, what, 1,000, 2,000 influencers maybe. Active is a whole different number. But everybody wants to do a video on Monty's microphone. Guess what? There's a bunch of other microphones that have no videos.
No
And,
videos.
and there's a lot of other products like that too. Like your stroller may not have a video, so put the baby in it and go to town with it, Monty. You have our blessing.
Hey, that I'm telling y'all, if y'all want a stroll, I got two of them. They're good. They're good products. They're good products. But speaking of products, one of the things I always ask my guests to do is share with me three of their favorite techie products or something that's essential to you guys. And we kind of talked about it before we went live today. You guys gave me the Elgato Stream Deck, this thing I still need to program. Tell me how you guys use it, why it's important to you guys in the workflow of what you're doing.
So if you want to bring me full screen, I can actually give you a quick demonstration of the
Yeah,
setup. Because I
gotcha.
know Chris is having some issues at the moment with his, but we like it. So I like it because I can just press this button, and then I give you an overhead look here when it switches over. Come on, man. Press the button. Am I switch? There you go. And so when I do a product demo, I can have the product, and you can still see me on camera. And so then when I'm ready to, and I can zoom in and out with another program. So that's one way I use it. Or then I just go back to my other view. The Stream Deck also works great with zooms. If you want to program, and this is using Ecamm, you can actually program it to do different, if you want to do screen sharing, you want to show your iPad, things of that nature. I just have it all programmed. It's just pressing buttons instead of having to like fumble around on my keyboard and with my mouse. So I've found the Stream Deck to be extremely valuable. I went with I'm glad I waited and got the XL, because it's kind of like some of those things you start out with not enough buttons, and then you're like, darn it, I should have got the one with more buttons. So
I am waiting for to see what the new releases are, so I'm trying to hold off from buying a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm just like, oh, there's a couple of devices I hope to come out this year. But yeah, I did not get same thing. I think it was like the 15 key or something when everybody was really starting to talk about. So I ended up waiting and got the 32. So I got the big one
there you
too.
go. Yep.
And it is helpful when you actually set it up. So once I actually have a setup the way I want with the show, I'm going to program all my buttons so I can just like tab and don't have to click as often. And because at first I thought the Stream Deck was like mostly for gamers, but all kinds of shortcut keys and just for websites I put on it. So those things that we were always using, just, and it's so easy to use, Jim. It's just like a little
Right.
GUI interface, just drag and drop and changing lights and stuff. And
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
that. Next one I got in here is the Sony ZV-1. Yeah, that's a popular camera. Who's using that?
That
That
would
would
be me.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm using with that quick focus. The thing I like most about it is like I'm not like a camera junkie. but I knew I needed to upgrade from the stuff that I had before, and I needed a camera that was a little bit of plug and play. And prior to the E10 coming out, I got the ZV-1, great price, and you know what, I love it, and I can use it for, you know, mobile video, you know, vlogging. I could, you know, there's like 6 or 8 different spots in the house that I do product videos, live streams, whatever. And it's just really super versatile for me to be able to do it. I can flip the screen out from the side. It's my main camera. I'm likely going to get another camera and also use the Z1 for an alternate as well. But you know, for me, it was just, you know, the only downside, I guess, would be the fact that you have to use a sort of a dummy battery with it, because you got to mount it, you know, for a live stream instead of using a battery. Not a huge deal. You know, it's just another $20. Get a, you know, a dummy battery and, you know, the little the rig that goes underneath it. But the ZV-1 for me has just been awesome. And I know Jim's got an E10, but right now that's out of stock, and who knows when that thing's going to get back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we found out earlier when Bradley was on our show, he's actually using the ZV-1 as his overhead camera, so that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah. So the ZV-1 is in stock. The ZV-10 is out of stock. Okay,
Right.
so A6400 is what I use, and they're hard to come
That's the
by.
jam.
Yeah, they're hard to come by too. So, um, yeah, definitely upgrading your camera quality will. I've literally gotten a company that reached out to me that literally said the camera, what camera are you using? The quality looks good, and that was like the one of the initial parts of their email to me. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, ended up working out. I think it was the vacuum company. They ended up doing something for them. So
Hey, you need a good camera with a vacuum, you know? I
yeah,
mean, it's like it's
hey,
a
Especially if you're doing vacuum cam.
yeah. I tell people, hey, the technology isn't everything, but it definitely helps you get a little bit better results.
yeah. I mean, that's a great point. Is you know, we didn't talk about this earlier. Is like, you know, as a content creator, like Jim and I would have never thought that a company would contact us specifically for us to do product videos for them.
Hmm.
Like I would have thought, okay, live streaming, you know, that kind of thing. But they were like, we really like your product video quality.
Hmm.
And so if you're a content creator and you've been trying to monetize on YouTube for 2 years and you haven't talked to a single brand, I mean, if you're able to create a good looking video that answers the consumer's questions, that's compelling, it doesn't have to look like you're just you know, Joe Blow in the corner with an iPhone. You know, you put together something nice, you know, brands are going to call you.
Hmm.
You're not only going to make sales for commission, but like we get calls from brands all the time. Now, again, we turn them down more often than we accept them because we want our brand to represent something that we really love. And so we'll try those things, and if we love it, then we'll do videos on it, but otherwise we kind of pass.
Yeah, I have one thing in my email responses. It literally says, I said, you're welcome to send the product. However, it does not guarantee or suggest that I will promote or upload your product on any of my social media platforms. And that's the disclaimer, and stuff will show up, and it gives me a way to test it out for them, and it also lets them know up front, hey, don't expect anything. But if I do if I do like your product, then I'll talk about it. I actually have, where is it at? This device right here. I did this. This thing is amazing. I don't have it in the product carousel, but I use the Rode Wireless Go wireless microphones. And then if anybody knows about those, they come in a little pouch, and you have your little chargers, but you have to charge them all individually. And so if you don't have enough USB ports hanging around, you kind of in a spot. And so Chris Giles, he's in the chat with me. We actually did a live stream event, and we were trying to charge him up because the event was like an all day event. And if I had this thing, I could have charged everything at one time. So when the company reached out to me, I was like, I don't know. When I actually used it, and then in the actual use case environment I needed it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll do a video for you. And I sure enough like featured his product in multiple videos, matter of fact, because I was like, yeah, this thing is actually worth the price of admission. So,
Jim's got one of those, so that'd be good for you, Jim. And Chris says that charger would have been legit
yeah,
in
yeah,
the chat and Amazon.
yeah. Chick, you're not getting it, Chris. You're not getting it. But speaking of Chris being in the chat, you got like an audio device that I don't know what this thing does. So you got to explain to me what a loop deck does. Loopy deck. That's the way it's spelled.
Oh no, it's not audio. This
Oh,
is
it's
video.
not. That's okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's
now
like
I'm
it's like
intrigued.
it's like an amazing box of digital chocolates.
Explain
This
this
is
one, man, because
oh, dude.
don't make me click the link in your carousel, but do explain this one too.
Yeah. So, okay, so I edit videos every single day for hours every single day. This saves me hours every single day. It syncs with any with Photoshop, with Adobe Audition, with Adobe Video Premiere, and what I use it for is Logic Pro on Apple for video. And so basically, these are tactile buttons that you can program. It comes automatically programmed so that you can use this big old dial on the side to scroll through your timeline. And if for whatever reason you're like, well, when I push this button, I want it to do this, you can absolutely do that. All of these color codes and things like this are all more for Photoshop and things like that. But like what I do is when I edit videos, I don't use my keyboard and I don't use my mouse. I only use this. I program everything into this. And so everything that you were doing with your keyboard and your mouse can be replaced with a relatively inexpensive item that takes, this paid for itself in 2 days, Monty. 2 days
Wow.
is the amount of days of time that it took to pay for itself. This will attest to this. I was almost crying when I finally figured out how to use this thing and incorporate it into my workflow. Video editing now in Logic has become like it's ridiculous. I'm gonna buy another one. They have another one that you can program for Ecamm. But it also for Logic. So I use it for Final Cut Pro to do videos, this one here. But I'm going to use another one that's about this size by Loopdeck that I can use for Logic for audio podcast editing as well as Ecamm.
Okay.
So it's by a company called Loopdeck. They're, I believe, out of Denmark or Norway, one of those two. And it's just incredible. Each one of these knobs is a button, and it also turns, and it's also programmed. So like every function in those pieces of software are already programmed, but you can reprogram for your particular workflow. Just killer.
I like workflow stuff. Anything that can help improve the workflow. Yeah.
Time saver. Like I keep my right hand on that, and I keep my other hand on my mouse, and then I've gotten to the point now where I don't even use my mouse, and I'm using both hands on it. So it took about 2 weeks for me to get to where I can use both hands on it, and now a video that took me maybe 2.5 hours to edit, which would be like a 1 hour podcast video, probably now takes me 40 minutes. And so I've scaled that back, and then I can double time it. So now I'm even moving even quickly backwards on it. So just an amazing piece of tech for video editors.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check that out because that's always a bottleneck is my process is like the editing. So I'm always looking for software and products that can help me do that. That's one of the things I like about the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. I got the ISO strictly because I could record all my inputs, and I knew I had a whole bunch of camera angles. So I'm like, I need to capture all those, but then I need to do something with those recordings. So sometimes they just sit in an SD card for months after months after months, and I never quite get to the editing process of it. So I got that marked as a potential to look into my workflow. Good to see all my other friends on Amazon over here. I've been busy. Like when you do a live stream as a host, like there's a lot of work that goes into it. And I had two of them, two guests tonight. I can't remember if it was Jim or Chris, whoever said it earlier, but being a guest on someone's show is like, I love being a guest on the show because it's like less work. You just show up. You don't have to click a
Yeah,
whole
I
bunch
don't have
of
to push
buttons.
any buttons. Right,
You
exactly.
don't have to engage in the chat. You like, it's like I just do what I want to do. I just show up over here. But good to see you guys all here. I see all you. Trust me, I see all you guys on Amazon, all you guys on YouTube. As we wrap it up, one of the things I like to ask all of my guests, and I will change the question as I get about halfway through the year, is what is a message that you have to like either inspire or encourage people to really tap into like video, because that's really a message that I'm big on, is if you can show up on video in any form, it just does something. It's just so quick to get people to take an action, especially those of us in business. Like that customer buying cycle can take a long time through other means, but if I can show up on video, like tonight we're talking about Amazon Live, and I show you, Dag, he showed me the loop deck, and I'm over here like, dang, how can I really use that in my workflow? Like, it's like the buyer cycle has like gotten real short, real fast. But what kind of message do you have for the audience and kind of encouraging them, or a vision maybe that you guys see for this year to get people to tap into? So, because like I almost want to just, nah, I'll be nice. I want to say something to some of y'all, I told you so, because people are giving a whole bunch of value and information, and I see people not doing anything with it, but yet they ask the same questions over and over again. So
Mm.
I will have other perspectives to come into the forefront and say, look at this, pay attention to this, do this because it just works. So Chris, I'll go with you because I want my Marine to kind of close us out. Because if y'all don't listen to anyone, you're going to listen to the Marine at the end of the day. Chris, what do you got?
I'm happy to open for Jim if he wants to be the closer, but I just think, like tonight is a great example of what I'm just a huge proponent of, even more so, even after meeting the Marine, Jim Fuse, who it took him a while to convince me that going live and doing live video is really where it's at, and not just because, oh, the algorithms love it and all of this, but and maybe we touched on it earlier. When you go live, people can see and who you are right then and there. Like, when something goes wrong, when you believe in something, when you don't believe in something, when you're passionate about something and you really want your community to get behind you on something, you're on video and there's nothing stopping you unless the power goes out or the internet goes out. But for the most part, like going live on video is like people are looking at me right now, and there's probably some people, our voices are not for everyone, and that's okay. That's totally okay, and I totally get it. um, but going live on video, and Monty, I'm preaching to the choir here because you are someone that we followed for a very long time, and we just, are inspired by what you have done in going live and continuing to feed into this community. But I would just encourage anyone who's on the fence about going live. If you're putting together and spending all of this time on crafting the most perfect video that you've edited and put it out, and put it through TubeBuddy and do all the SEO and all of those things, that's cool, and maybe you're going to get whatever you're going to get. But are people going to trust you? Are people going to follow you? Are people, and I don't mean like clicking a button to follow you. I mean really follow you. Are they going to engage with you? If you've got 3,000 followers or you got 3 million followers, how many of those followers are truly followers that can trust you and follow you up a hill? And I believe live video is really how you can get those people to do that, because you're being yourself. You're being the person that you are, and the people that won't follow you, you don't want them following you anyway, because this is who you are anyway. So that's really what it's about for me.
Yeah, I like that. It's more than clicking a button to follow someone. Are
Yeah.
you really following, or did you just click the button? Jim, what do you have, sir?
Well, I mean, I'm a guy in my mid 50s that did had never gone live until 2018. By being consistent, by taking that chance, it has definitely changed the path of my business. I would say in some aspects changed the path of my life. And so if I can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, the reality is that there's opportunities, whether you're a business, whether you're a personal brand, to what Chris talked about, right? Be yourself on live video, interact just like we've been interacting with everybody here on YouTube and on Amazon. And you're going to build community, you're going to build trust that is going to lead to opportunities. You just have to get over the imposter syndrome, get over the gas, the gear acquisition syndrome. You can start with your phone, right? You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to become a video person. And who knows, you might end up, being able to be on the other side of the camera at some point. I mean, Chris and I do this Amazon stuff, but I think you as well, Monty. This has led us to us being able to produce live videos for others. Has helped us out a lot. And I get it. Some people don't. That's not what they're wanting to do. But the bottom line is, this isn't going away. So you can do it now, or you can do it later. And if you do it later, you're gonna kick yourself and say, why didn't I start back when just Jim and Monty said I should?
Yep, I told you so. I'm gonna tell them. I told you. If you're in my community, I'll be like, I told you so. Go ahead and get started. Um, I, I got sometimes, some people just need that push, that real push, y'all. So I'm gonna give them that real push. I let my guests give them a soft push, but I'm gonna give them a real push. And I'm like, remember what Chris and Jim said? Because we got started on Amazon Live at the same time, and I'm sure there's people that got started before us. I'm sure there's probably got started at the same time as us, and there's people that are gonna get started after us. Um, but get started on something when it comes to video and live streaming. I'm a big proponent of Amazon Live. I just think it's one of the easiest ones right now to grow an audience and to get exposure and to really earn some money and meet awesome people and capitalize on an opportunity for the creator economy that's growing and expanding. VidFest, VidCon, no, not VidCon, VidFest, PodFest. Make sure y'all go to the right website. Make sure y'all check out Jim, Chris. Everything is linked in my YouTube. The event, what its code is Amazon for 20% off. Am I correct on that one?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if you go to vidfestexpo.com/Amazon or /Amazon-live, they both work. That will take you to the page where you can get 20% off with the code Amazon, and you can join Monty Weaver and Jim Fuse and even me, and in Orlando. And there's a lazy river, Monty. So like, if I don't see you, your wife, baby girl out there floating in the lazy river, I mean, it's like I'm going home.
It's going to be a time to connect and relax at the same time. So
That's right.
I'm
That's
looking
right.
forward to connecting with everybody. You guys grab your tickets. Don't wait and procrastinate to the last minute. Go ahead and grab your tickets now. Plan to be there if you're coming. Looking forward to meeting the Amazon Live creators specifically, but just a whole bunch of other people that are going to be there to collaborate with. Bring your cameras. I think Chris Giles, we were something was a group message going around or post, and I was like, I can see us now with like 20 cameras just sitting all around. We're all just like grabbing content, all of us content creators. So make sure you grab your content, find people to collab
Well, we're going to
with
go
while you're
live
there.
on Amazon. We're going to go live on Amazon while we're talking about Amazon Live. It's like super meta.
Uh, you think that won't get Amazon's attention? Like, hold on, what are these people doing? Like, hey, maybe we should help our
Right.
creators a little bit more on some other projects or sponsor an event or something like that. But thank you guys for being here.
Thank
Hang
you.
around in the back for me, guys, as I close out here. If you guys enjoyed tonight's show, let me know. I know you did, because Jim and Chris are just awesome guys. Connected with them, and definitely love what they're doing, how they're doing it as well. So make sure you guys give me a like if you're on YouTube, and let me know on Amazon if you guys enjoyed the show tonight. No show next week. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back the following week, and we're going to get right back at it with another guest and hopefully inspire you guys to really tap into the power of video. So with that, you guys enjoy the rest of your evenings, the rest of your mornings, wherever you're watching from, and I'll